views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Girls of 28A. I'm Trisha Centenera.
I'm Bianca Valeria.
I'm Julia Snickers. We hope that you enjoyed our episode last week with the amazing Bianca Valeria. We hope that you learned a lot of things. But this week we have someone new.
Yeah, so it's kind of like what we're doing is last week we had a tutorial, and this time we're going to have another tutorial, right? So who is he, Julia?
Well, we have our very, very dear friend Sean Armenta. He's actually guesting for the second time today. He's an LA-based beauty, fashion, and lifestyle photographer. He's the resident judge on ETC Channel's Top Model Philippines, and he's also our dear, dear friend, and he's an amazing photographer. So he's going to be teaching us how to make it big in LA as a model without having to sleep your way on
to
top.
the top.
Valuable lesson, right?
Yeah. Very, very. Also, as well, we just want to show you that the episode that we did with Sean was quite fun and candid and whatever, just to kind of get into his brain when it comes to things professional.
His brain, his pants. Okay,
so this is like serious professional.
This episode is serious and professional because you got a little bit crazy. The last time was on Girls of 28A.
Okay. Okay, but he's actually an honorary member of the Girls of 28A. No, here's a little backstory, a little trivia for you guys. So I've known Sean's for like 13 years, maybe 14.
Yeah, we were like 10 years old.
Yeah, we were 10 years old when we knew each other. We basically have known each other for a long time. We both used to be models for Calcari Models Philippines back in the day. And then eventually Sean moved to LA and the rest is history. Now, after so many years, when I went to makeup school at AU to makeup designery, it was the same time that Sean actually, I went on vacation to the States last year.
Yes.
And it was the same time as your exhibit, right?
Yes. Well, the funny thing was, since I'd been gone from Manila for so long, I really lost touch with a lot of the people back here, and so I found Bianca through Twitter. Just by complete accident. And so I tweeted you and I was like, Bianca, is this really you?
Yeah.
And then we got in touch and you were like, yeah, I'm in LA. And the next thing we know, we grabbed dinner real quick and I told you about the show I was having.
Yeah.
And you came. I was so touched that you came to that show.
And it was actually even his birthday and he cried and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did.
We didn't have to mention that.
Okay, it was really sweet. It was really sweet. Okay, now, basically, here's the thing. So, when Sean came here to have his talks regarding Top Model Philippines, we actually got to meet up. And, he was like, before I leave, why don't I shoot you girls for, like, some headshots, just some test shots, right? Mm-hmm. And the pictures that he came up with are solo shots. And us girls, we always wanted to have a photo together. Mm-hmm. And this is what it looked like. Oh, well, this is
on the day.
This is on the day. This is after the photo shoot. And this was December. I remember it was December 3.
Yeah, and this was at Dix Perez Studio. So thank you so much for letting us use your studio on that day, Dix.
Yeah, so that was behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, Sean.
Yeah. I didn't have hair.
No, you didn't have hair.
You love wearing red,
I know.
don't you?
It's a different red dress, guys.
Yeah. And this is when Sean, the shot below is where Sean was actually shooting my headshot. And this is our
We just learned so much from him that, I learned so much from him that day. You really critiqued us and you really directed us. I work really well with photographers who are quite verbal.
Yeah.
And will say things like, why don't you try this or why don't you try that or move this or move that.
Shot.
Yeah. So I think there are a couple of photographers who just expect you to know everything, or they expect that you get it, right? Mm-hmm. But Sean is actually, he knows how to direct really well, and that is the
28A photo, which actually was not for 28A. It was just a photo that the three of us wanted to do because, we...
Oh, by the way, I did hair and makeup.
Oh, yes.
Just saying.
And that day, actually, Sean, you remember? We were fighting.
We were fighting.
We were arguing about something, and Julia and Sean were shooting each other, and we were like,
yeah. And I was crying, and I was like, I don't want to shoot anymore. I'm like, I don't want to shoot anymore.
Scratches my hair with like wrath.
I was like, just make your hair messy. Like, here, spray it with water. I was just like, I don't want to shoot. I'll let you guys shoot your headshots. And then Sean was like, and because Sean and I are so close, he was just like, he just pulled me aside. He's like, you can do this. You're beautiful. I believe in you. Just put some makeup. Literally, my makeup was like 10 minutes, like really fast. I just scrunched it up, and I was like, Sean, help me.
Yeah.
So I just sat there, and he was like, just breathe and just let it go. And it was amazing. High five, high five. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I mean, it just goes to show, at the end of the day, even when the models are all fighting and they are all best friends, you still can come up with really good pictures. Number one, being professional in front of the camera helped, but then also as well, having a photographer who noticed that and went, guys, get your fucking shit together, because we're about to take a fucking photo. So thank you, Sean.
No, it was, and like you said, it's just a certain level of professionalism that you have to maintain.
Yeah.
And regardless of what goes on set, and of course we're all human. We all have our personal issues, and when you come to set with those, it comes out in the photos.
Yeah.
So as a photographer, the final result of these images really lies solely on you, because you're the photographer, you're the director on the set, and so it's up to you to kind of rein everybody together and just say, hey, we're gonna have an amazing day today, regardless of what you're going through in your personal life. When you come through here, I want you to be just calm, comfortable, and just enjoy the experience.
Well, this photo is actually sort of like a premonition to our podcast. This was when Sean tweeted this photo, and we all retweeted it. We got so much feedback. Oh my God, who shot this photo? It looks so lovely. People thought it was a major production, but honestly, our headshots, we shot 2 headshots each, and this photo took about 2 hours. And plus like an hour of like babbling on and eating and looking through magazines. It was such a fast shoot. I think that's also the amazing thing about Sean is it's not one of those like for one shot it takes like forever. But anyway, so this photo is basically, he called us the Trifecta, right? So he called us the Trifecta, and this is what led to the podcast. Of the Girls of 20.
It was around the time when people were seeing this picture of the 3 of us. They thought it was for a campaign already, and then it wasn't. And then they were saying, you girls are actually friends. It would be good for you guys to maybe do a show. Like, look how different you all are in that one photo. So when you called us the Trifecta, called the picture the Trifecta, it was.
The rest is history.
And now we're here.
No, I just wanted to mention, what I love most about this photo, aside from it being you guys, is it's representative of the diversity of the Filipino beauty, right? I mean, I know you're not technically
Asian.
You're an honorary Filipino, but it just shows you the gamut of different looks that Filipinos have, and we just don't have that one kind of look.
It looks like a United Colors of Benetton kind of ad, right? It's very multiracial. But for Asia. But for Asia.
Wet and sultry.
Right.
So thank you for that. And actually, so today is how to make it in LA, because Sean is an LA-based photographer, and this kind of rings true. This is how I actually got to bond with Sean, because I've spent years and years living in LA, and I'm actually moving back this fall. So I know, right?
We're gonna miss you.
You guys can jump for joy. Jump for joy. Go for it.
So and Sean will be there, and I guess if I go back and I want to model again, for all the girls out there, and even for me, my concern is, what do I need to prepare myself for? What does my book need to look like?
Where do you start?
There's so much.
Okay. I guess it's not any different from anywhere else. You need to prepare a portfolio for yourself, and make sure that the images in that portfolio are representative of who you are, what you're selling, which is basically your face, and your body, of course. So, for example, we'll have a couple of images up on here. So this is just your basic, clean headshot type. Not a whole lot of makeup on there, very natural. In fact, I didn't even retouch this because we just want to see who you really are. And you'll do like a 3/4 or even like a full-length shot, just so that the booker and the clients can see what you look like.
Yeah.
Is this more for commercial print?
This is very commercial print, which honestly is what's going to make you the most money.
Right.
Can we tell them first the difference between like high fashion and commercial?
Right. So high fashion is something you would see on the pages of like Vogue or Le Fichelle, that kind of thing, where it's very couture based. And very high-end kind of fashion brands that you normally wouldn't wear out.
Not ready to wear at all.
Right, so you're just basically telling a fashion story using the use of clothes or like some really crazy makeup in here. Now when we're talking about commercial fashion, we're talking about catalog work and things like you would see like The Gap, or here would be like Bench or Pen Shop, you know, like kind of like what I'm wearing, like it's very commercial fashion. Very RTW, Target.
Which actually makes more money because this is what appeals to everyone. It's what everybody can wear.
Right, so it's very consumer-based fashion. So that's basically the differences between more commercial and more high-end. So this is a picture of Andrew, and this, again, like, for example, Andrew is a UK-based model, and he's modeling here now, and he's doing mostly just runway. So he, you know, I talked to him, and you know, he expressed the need to have pictures so he can start booking print work. So this was actually probably one of his, you know, first like kind of like print test shoots. So again, just very simple. We just want to see what he looks like, you know, very, very basic expression. And we also want to see what his body looks like for both girls and guys. Especially for guys, we need to see that top off, and he's got abs, so that's going to sell him for like
Julie, I see
swimwear
so
or like.
I've never seen this guy.
Julie,
Yeah, so you know this could be like a denim campaign. So basically,
very Abercrombie and Fitch, right?
Which is what you want clients to think of when they see these images.
Yeah.
They want you want them to fit you into whatever campaign they're doing. So it's nice to have these kind of images. It's very simple. Nothing like crazy going on. So you're just selling who you are. You're just selling you.
Yeah. And LA is a more commercial market anyway compared to New York. So for an LA model, these are what you need to have.
Yes, absolutely. And being in LA, beach is like key. So for girls, definitely you need like a swimwear shot. Like this, and you know, like the next one is also a swimwear shot, but showing a lot of fun because LA and California, and the California market is very like surfwear, swimwear, having fun. It's a very like.
It's not like swimwear maxim, like seductive and sultry. Okay, more wholesome.
Yes.
Yes.
I guess wholesome is a good way to go. But just having fun and showing that kind of lifestyle. That hey, like when I look at this picture, I want that soda. She looks like she's having.
Yeah, I want to go to the beach. Yeah,
sure.
So that's kind of what you're going for.
Okay.
What do we have next? So here's more of that lifestyle. I shot these for Wet Seal, which is a huge brand.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah, in the U.S.
I shopped at when I was 13.
Yeah.
I still shop there.
Yeah. So these next few images are from that shoot, and just showing you like she's just enjoying life, and that's what kind of like lifestyle photography.
So these are photos that you suggest should be in a basic portfolio.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because look at this photo as well. You know, we girls have also had our own portfolios. Like this photo one, it shows what a client sees is what her face looks like from a frontal angle, head on. It shows she's got good teeth. It shows what she looks like, how her muscles contract when she's smiling. It actually shows what her hands. It actually shows even what her hands look like. Could she be a hand model? Could she be? Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of you see a lot of features already just in one photo alone.
Take us to school, girl. Look at that. Rocket science. I like that. I didn't even get that far with this photo. I was just like, she's smiling and having fun. Hands. I love it.
Nice and live into the teeth.
Yeah, exactly. it's kind of basically what a photograph is. It's a chart. It's a graph. So what you're showing a client is basically what beauty is. It's symmetry, right? Yeah. So what you're shooting here is, for me, the perfect headshot.
This is for Wet Seal?
This was also for Wet Seal, yeah.
Okay.
We do a lot of fun things with them, so... Yeah.
You're a friend. You're famous.
No, Wet Seal's huge, guys. It's huge.
I don't actually know where Wet Seal's from. I'm from Australia. I have no clue.
Oh, okay. Wet Seal is like, it's as big as bench.
It's for teenage girls.
It's kind of like Forever 21.
Yeah.
It's our direct competitor.
Yeah.
A lot of
so none of them are big in Australia.
None of them are big, okay.
No.
So it's like Supre.
Supre's.
Their demographic is like teens to like 18.
It's like sports girl, I would say. For those who are watching in Australia, I would say sports girl would probably be their demographic.
Okay.
Would be there on Dottie and sports girl. Supre, but Supre is more for the lower class, for the lower. It's very generic.
Okay.
I'm just saying for all
So for when
my friends and family in Australia who are watching.
No, Wet Seal is actually very, very, very affordable.
It's super. That's why I'm saying it would be
super
sports
cheap.
girl and Dottie, the equivalent to that. You mentioned Supre, and I would say no.
Okay, so what's next?
What's next?
Okay, so we want to talk about maybe
Spicing it up a little in the portfolio.
Okay, this is Carrie Hilson, and
She's a singer.
She's a singer. If you don't know who she is, you will definitely know her music. So
Can you sing us a song?
no, I can't. And it's funny because I was just.
You would have done it a couple of weeks ago.
It's funny, like I noticed like everybody here sings, and that's like amazing. Like, what do you do? I'm a model and a singer. Like, it's awesome.
And I sing in the shower.
And I know, like Trisha sings.
Yeah.
So, anyways, this image here is kind of representative of
Who she is.
Well, no, just not that, but
I don't know her, that's why I jumped in.
yeah. But kind of like my break into shooting celebrities.
Oh.
So this was my first like legitimate celebrity that I shot, and it made me really nervous because I'd never actually shot like a true celebrity that people recognize, like I hear on the radio, you know, like what.
You won't sing us her song still.
No,
I'm
I
trying
won't.
to.
I won't.
Okay. All right.
If you want to lose
You won't do
viewers,
justice.
yeah. If you want it to rain in Manila, I'd totally sing right now. So I got to work with like really top-notch people like Sharon Galt, who was a makeup artist on this shoot, and she's actually David LaChapelle's like go-to makeup artist.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, for me, it was like it took me to like that next sort of step in my career where I'm starting to work with these like A-list celebrities and A-list artists, and so it was nice. It was a nice feeling to be a part of this shoot. And there's a behind-the-scenes video that we did that's on my YouTube, and she gives me like a nice little plug at the end, and I was kind of like, oh, that's awesome. So it was, it's very nice, and just doing like a lot of people ask me like, oh, what's your most memorable shoot? What's your favorite shoot? And it's hard to really pin down, my favorite or most memorable because I feel like all the shoots that I've done are memorable in their own reason, for in their own way.
It's very personal, yeah.
It's a very personal thing, and so whether it was the crew that I got to work with, or who I shot, or with this awesome location that I was on. So they're all different, but like this is one of my most memorable ones, again because of that kind of like first celebrity shoot that I booked. And then this next few photos right here.
Ooh. This is your fashion.
This was a
fashion
beauty
and beauty.
Yeah, this was a beauty editorial that came out last July for Mega Magazine.
Oh, nice.
I've seen this.
So for me, having started my career in the fashion industry right here in Manila as a model, and then leaving for so long, and then being able to shoot something that came out here as a photographer, it kind of did full circle for me, and so that was really a special moment for me.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've heard you say that you have a special affinity to shooting beauty because you really like being very technical with the lighting, and so
I do.
First and foremost.
I do, and I learned this early on shooting. The makeup artist that I worked with, and I just want to mention her because she kind of like really turned me on to shooting beauty, and her name's Tanya Russell, and she worked with me very early in my career. Like we were just doing like test shoots, and I was learning a lot. And she had mentioned after looking at the film that we were doing, and yes, we were still shooting film back then, and she mentioned, hey, you know what? You really have an eye for shooting beauty. I think that's kind of the niche that you should go for. And so I was like, really, what's shooting beauty? I just kind of went in tight and shot some stuff. I researched a little bit more and really took that, to heart, and just found that that's really what I'm, passionate about. Like I love shooting fashion, don't get me wrong. I love shooting celebrities, I love shooting the lifestyle stuff, but if you were to take that all away and just give me one thing to shoot, it would definitely be beauty.
And actually that's where most of the money is. I mean, the beauty industry is $1 trillion every year.
Yes.
And for you to be a beauty photographer, it doesn't mean that you're actually good in fashion, and vice versa. It's like being a makeup artist as well. If you're super good in beauty, that means you're amazing.
And do you like more doing fashion beauty stuff or more like cosmetic beauty?
I honestly like, as long as it's just working. I guess I just have a thing for faces.
Because this for me is more fashion beauty than anything.
Yeah, this is a more editorial type, avant-garde beauty.
Okay, so from the photos that we've seen of yours, there has obviously been a build-up of. I mean, you can't turn to somebody who's going to LA to start out and expect this to be in the portfolio, or do you expect this to be in the portfolio?
No, honestly, okay, to be perfectly honest, when you, like for example, if you come from here and you want to work in LA, and so you start approaching modeling agencies, they don't really want to look at your book. They want to look at Polaroids. They want to just look at snapshots that you took.
When you're with your friends?
No, not with your friends, but just like against like a white wall, no makeup, just hair, just natural, because that's what they want to see.
Because that's the real thing.
That's the real thing.
Which is different because when I started in LA as a kid, and when you in the West, or Japan's one different market in Asia, but yes, they want to see no makeup, just blank Polaroids. But when you come to Asia and they see your snaps, they want you full on makeup in your snaps. So
that's one thing that you and I struggle with. When we have to go to castings or when we have to go and show our book, they want to see all of the full on modeling pictures with all the hair and all the makeup. But then when I'm back at home, no makeup is best. Natural hair. And I think I even went to acting screen test one day, and I saw Bianca and Julia afterwards, and they turned to me, especially Bianca, because Bianca, is born and raised here, and she really is the Asian market. She looked at me and just said, "You've no makeup on. You came from where? You look like you've just kind of, come out for the day." And I just said, I came from an acting
which is
screen
totally
test,
different. Yeah.
Which is totally different. I had no makeup on. My hair was not done. I mean, it was combed, and that's really how. In Australia, they really want it and they really do it. So you're saying in LA it's the same. It's completely different to the market
Sean,
here in Asia.
Oh, sorry. But so, like, as Trish was saying, when I go back to LA, so it doesn't matter that I've been an Asian, I have a pretty fat look now.
No. Now, you being a more experienced model, that definitely does help, because what it does is it brings you that sort of international supermodel flavor that somebody who's just starting out wouldn't necessarily have. So definitely all the campaigns you've been doing here, your editorial work here, will definitely help you in securing work in LA, because they'll take a look at that and be like, wow, she's done so much abroad that she'll definitely be able to do something here.
Okay. But what about, I'm quite short. So what, in LA, does height matter? Or because it's commercial print, what are the...
It definitely does. I'm not going to lie to you. And, there have been some girls where I look at them and, it doesn't matter that she's short. She'll definitely, work. I would book her, regardless of her height, just because she definitely has the face for it. But clients really take a look at that, and some of them are, really sticklers for, what, she has to be at least 5'8".
Yeah. So not everybody can pull a Kate Moss, right?
Right. I mean, and I know. I keep hearing that argument, well, Kate Moss is 5'7". Right. Well, you're not Kate Moss.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Devin Aoki's 5'6".
But she's Devin Aoki, and she has that unique Devin Aoki face.
Exactly.
Right? So, but who knows? Everything we do is really a risk and a gamble, right? I mean, if this is your passion, this is your dream, and you just push forward with it, and you find that niche that's really going to sell you. So, for example, if you're shorter, okay, I get it. You're not going to be able to do Vogue. Mm-hmm. You kind of have to accept that. Mm-hmm. But will you be able to do like commercials for Taco Bell? Absolutely, because it's a commercial. It's a TV commercial. They don't really care about your height.
Yeah, you can stand in Apple boxes and
right?
stuff.
Then you got to start getting your acting skills together.
Right. So you have to find what works best for you, and you will find success regardless.
It's like anywhere really. It's just how passionate you are about it, and how committed you are, and how professional you're going to be, and within reason and being realistic, of course. Julia is Japanese American, and she has been quite successful here in the Filipino market. So it's just a tribute to Julia. But perseverance is the key, but also as well having these guidelines of which Sean is teaching us today of things to do, and just to make sure that if you are going to go to LA, that you are really prepared, and that you're not living in fairy tale land. Preparation is the key, because once you are there, it's really expensive. You don't know what agencies to go to. Do you have any suggestions of good agencies?
Like, how can people avoid being
taken for a ride?
There are a lot of scouts out there who will approach you in malls and say you could be like the next supermodel, and they ask all these. They'll ask you to pay for your headshots, for this.
Give us $800, and we will put this together, and then it's terrible. Would you suggest having a mother agent in Asia to send you over?
Yes, absolutely. If you can get a mother agent here, and it goes both ways.
Because if you're working here, for me, for example, I know that I would never go to Asia unless I had a mother agent here wanting to send me over. To go there blindly, I would never go for modeling, let's face it. But if I were to go for acting, this is where my head kind of goes. Mm-hmm. If I was to go there for acting, I would go there with a set amount of agents who I've already got a interview with, or an appointment with. I would make sure that I would have the best showreel I could possibly have. I would make sure that I would have written, referrals from here, if not my mother agent here saying, this is who we represent in Asia. Can you represent her acting in LA? And it's kind of like the same with modeling, yeah?
It is.
Yeah.
But it's extremely hard. You can't just
the
visa, especially now. It's so hard to get there. So it is kind of a sticky situation, and I think that'd be a whole episode in itself.
That's a whole episode in itself.
Policy,
but just pretend that you already got your work permit and all these things, and you have a mother agent to represent you. But let's say, what are the criterion for a good agency? Let's say.
Okay, a good agency will have they normally have two divisions. One is a new board division, or new faces, which is if you're kind of fresh into modeling. It's kind of like the probationary stage. They'll work with you for like the first 6 months
to see if you make money for them and get jobs.
And then they have the actual working division where they have girls who are actually booking work and working with them exclusively. If they're asking you for money up front to be a part of their agency, then that's probably not legit. It's normal, however, for you as a model to be responsible for all your marketing materials. So, a lot of times you'll have to pay for your comp cards, the printing of your comp cards. Sometimes you'll have to pay for being on their website, because that's like a maintenance fee for them.
Really?
That's a new thing.
Some agencies.
That wasn't like that when I was back
in Singapore. They have that as well. If you want to be in their website, it's a totally different fee. Because it's true, because of the maintenance. Because they also have to upload new photos and whatever.
So they have people who, they have to pay people to maintain their website. It's also normal for them to charge you like shipping costs if they're going to ship your portfolio to clients, and you'll see like FedEx fees. That's kind of normal. Some bigger agencies kind of won't charge you that. And honestly, like if they have a contract for you, make sure you go to a lawyer and have a lawyer look at that before you sign anything. And I know it's exciting if you're handed a contract by a modeling agency and you're just like, yes, I got a contract, I'm going to sign and get this over with, and I'm going to get to work. But really, you have to protect yourself because, especially California, is a very sue-happy state. It is more than any other state in the U.S.
Why don't we talk about commission fees? Like here in the Philippines, it's usually 30%. It depends. Sometimes for print, it's 20, and then when it's like commercials, bigger jobs, it's 30%. What about in LA? What are the commission
20,
fees? I know it's different.
Yeah, 20 is kind of like the standard. I think maybe for bigger jobs they might jump it up to 25, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about 20, 25 depending.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
20 for me back when.
Yeah.
But okay, how is the scene different in LA than in Manila? Like, how's modeling in Manila gonna prepare? I mean, yeah. So what are the differences?
I honestly feel like, okay, well first, the main difference is just the size of the market, right?
Much more competitive over there.
It's much more competitive. And in Manila, since we're smaller, I notice like, I see like, the same kind of faces on billboards, and it's like kind of like who's the hot girl for this season or whatever. Whereas in LA, they kind of shy away. Like they don't want the same girl who's doing Target to be like on JCPenney.
Yeah.
So, but again, we have a market that's large enough to support that. I also notice kind of like work ethic wise, like US models or just, our market is a lot more serious about it.
Yeah.
Like these girls are working out and making sure they take care of their face, like they're yoga and meditating and like they're all about it, and they take it very seriously, and you have to because again the competition is very stiff.
It's a 24-hour maintenance job. When we were in Calcaris, I remember Teresa Herrera, if you guys know Teresa Herrera, she said to us that modeling, it is a 24-hour maintenance job, from working out to sleeping well to taking care of your skin. You guys were saying that castings in the States or in Australia, it's more bare. It's true, like here it's more made up. They want to see the finished product, as opposed to like in Singapore, they actually want you same. It's also very bare as well, or even Hong Kong. In Bangkok, castings are holy guacamole. You can spend the whole day for one casting, right?
But even in Hong Kong as well, they quite like the, go in with fake eyelashes and
But anyway, you're saying.
So the work ethic is a lot different here. I think it's because, like everybody kind of knows each other.
Yeah.
So you don't kind of need to keep trying to sell yourself.
Yeah.
So I think I noticed that a lot of the girls are kind of just lax about things. Another thing is like.
Are you calling the models here fat?
No, not necessarily just fat. But it just doesn't seem like there's that same drive.
It's not the same sense of urgency.
I think that the models here and all the ones who are doing the billboards and who are being used for being the brand ambassadors and the endorsers and that, they're not just plain models anymore. Here in the Philippines, we model, we host, we act, we sing, we do everything. So there's no one who I know in the Philippines who just models.
Right.
So that's why if you get a girl who's a little bit more curvy and who isn't as waist thin and as tall as the girls in LA, it's because she has a voice and she actually is there because she's a personality.
Not necessarily, because they still have fly-ins that come in here that do all, like the Parisian campaigns that do.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's still models.
There are, yes, but they're the ones who they're definitely not going to use the local girls because they don't want a personality. They really just want it to be a focus more so on the brand or the shoes, for example. As opposed to like Bench will use the local market. They want to use the celebrities. They want to use not necessarily even huge celebrities, but just different walks of life.
But I think like more so than just the physicality of it is what I'm referring to is like
attitude.
Attitude and
attitude for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
I completely agree. The work ethic here in the Philippines needs to step up a little because it is ridiculous.
like for example, like I've been here for
Ridiculous.
I've been here just for a few weeks, right? And when I got here, I wanted to reach out to models, makeup artists, hairstylists to try to do some test shoot work, just to shoot and just to build something for your book and produce something on your own without having to have a client. And I find that lacks here because what I kept getting was, oh, what's the budget for this? And I'm like, But no,
test shoot.
It's not a test shoot.
we all just back home. We all just love to just get together and collaborate and just do work, and we call it like playtime.
Yeah.
And here it's like
it's passion and it's
everything comes with a price, which is kind of sad because it loses what the whole point of what the art is, right?
And plus that's kind of what improves your portfolio is when you're doing things on your own because you love to do it. And I find that here it's like, oh, I already have these campaigns and I don't need to work on my book. No, that you need. It's a continuous process.
Yeah, it's a working process all the time. Okay, great. So, 20 questions. Let's go. I'm flying to LA tomorrow.
Okay. So other than that, I mean, obviously we've covered physicality in terms of what it takes to be a model. We've covered portfolio. We've covered the photos that you're taking. We've covered if you've already had experience or if you're a newbie. We've covered costs. So let's say again, if they're asking you for certain fees other than what Sean mentioned, then you kind of have to be wary about that. So seek a lawyer and all that stuff. Lastly, we've talked about attitude because it's not enough that you're pretty. It's not enough that you've got a great body. At the end of the day, there are some clients like with me, for example. I know I was never the tallest and I was never the skinniest, but the feedback I would get is there are some people who love working with certain models who are easy to work with. Sometimes you could be the most amazing, beautiful model, but if you're a diva, it's not.
Don't be a diva, kid.
Forget it.
Don't be a diva.
Well,
do you have any experiences where you've had like diva models just like?
Absolutely. You know what? One of my most favorite things about working in this industry is you get to choose who you work with. You have that luxury. It's not like a corporate job where you're stuck with Bob from accounting that you can't stand because he smells really bad and you're stuck with him in the same cubicle. No, what we do is like, if we work with you and you're an asshole, you're a bitch that day, dude, I don't ever have to fucking work with you ever again.
Exactly. You just breathe through it. You think, oh my gosh, get through this one day and I never have to see her face again.
Unless, of course, like you work with a certain client again and they book the same model, then you kind of already have the mindset, okay, this is what I'm preparing myself for. And you can even give feedback to the client, look, this is how I've worked with this model. You're going to have to shut her down or figure out a way to tame her.
Well, like it's always, of course, you want to be. It's always good just in general to be a nice person. However, I feel like, I mean, Naomi Campbell, isn't she a fucking bitch? But she's like a good model. So isn't there
but she's like one in a bazillion.
Honestly,
Naomi Campbell.
But honestly, I think deep down inside, she's a very nice person from what I understand. Like I've worked with people who have actually been on set with her and they're like, you know what, they just make her out to be that way. And sure, everybody has their episodes, right? But on the general like consensus of things, like when you're at that level, you're a professional. So, and I always tell people like I teach other photographers. Like I used to do workshops and I used to educate photographers coming up, in their career. And their one like question is usually like, oh, what's your best advice you can give me coming up? And I always tell them, you know what? Be genuinely nice to everybody on set because you never know who those people are. And when I was assisting, like I think that comes from having that Filipino kind of hospitality kind of personality. And I would always get asked back on set because I would always take care of everybody, regardless. I didn't know who they were. Next thing I knew, I was like actually talking to like the CEO of the company, of the client. It's just, and you don't know that, and they're never dressed like, well.
And sometimes they purposely won't tell you who they are to see if you're on your best behavior.
So be nice to everybody on set. If you think somebody's just a PA, a personal assistant, or whatever, it doesn't give you the right to just treat them poorly. So
you never know, guys. Okay, but at the moment, we are not going to be nice to Sean Armenta because we are going to give him 20 questions.
No. Oh, the dreaded. Okay.
What do you mean? You've already done it once. We are going to do it again. We just have to come up with different questions.
I know. Fly too.
On the fly.
But you know what? Last time, let's not talk about last time. Okay.
All right.
Oh my God! Is this like fly off the wall?
Yep. Blondes or brunettes?
Attracted to blondes, but fall in love with brunettes.
Would you ever kiss a guy?
No.
Between the three of us, who would you do?
All three of you.
Good answer. Good answer.
Okay.
How old are you?
Next question, please. How old do I look? Yeah.
You look like you're like 33.
30. Yeah.
Tits or ass?
Pass.
White girls or brown girls?
White.
Canadians or Americans?
Canadians.
Have you ever slept with a model shot?
Yes.
Mixing work with
It was after work. It wasn't during work. It wasn't during the shoot at all.
So she was sleeping her way to the top? No.
Not that I know of. I'm certainly not the route that she should be taking.
And what's your favorite hangout spot in LA?
What's Hollywood?
Do you like dogs or cats?
Both.
Last movie you watched?
Iron Man 3.
Was it good?
It was awesome.
Are you good?
I think so. In what? I think I'm a good photographer.
You're a good photographer. Good say.
You're a good person. Good
I'm a good person deep down inside. Sure.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to going back to LA, or are you happy here in the Philippines?
I love being in Manila, but LA has been my home for so long that that's my home. So.
What is your mix? People.
I'm a little bit Rottweiler, a little bit no.
Chihuahua.
No, I guess I'm like an eighth
You don't
white.
It's something here.
Yeah,
Why?
it's like American, Spanish, and Filipino.
Okay.
I guess.
Hence.
No, hence I look.
Hang on a minute though, because when you did all the and we touched on this last week, the top model stuff, you had a shaved head.
I did.
And you've grown your hair back now.
I did.
And he's so much more blonde.
Oh, thank you. I look.
I got more questions.
Yes.
Go.
Do you like to cuddle?
Yes.
Ah!
I'm a huge cuddler because I'm a Pisces and I'm a hopeless romantic.
Water sign.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You always get water signs on the show.
Are you
Leo gonna come on the show?
Yes.
He's single.
There's enough for one Leo right here, Patricia.
So-
yeah, you're single, right?
Yes.
So his phone number is 0916-337-8 and figure out the rest.
Yeah.
Okay. When was your last relationship?
Not too long ago. We ended it early February.
Okay.
Who's your celebrity Filipino celebrity crush?
Oh, dude. It'd probably be like old school because I don't really know like the new
Yeah.
It's okay,
people.
go, old school.
Donita Rose
Donita
and
Rose.
Christine Hermosa.
Okay.
Okay, I like you.
All right.
She's a fan. Do you
Alright guys, I think that wraps it up. We've asked
Wraps
more
it
than
up.
20 questions.
Yeah.
Okay guys, once again, this is Sean Armenta. What's your website? Twitter, Instagram.
Okay, so www.seanarmenta.com. That's SEAN, the right way and the only way to spell Sean. Yes, I'm sorry, it is.
Really?
Yes, it is.
written here, people?
Yes, right here. So
I see.
SeanArmenta.com. My Twitter is Armenta_photo, and my Instagram is Sean Armenta.
Okay, ladies, he is single and he is ready to mingle.
Tweet him. Also, as well, if you want to ask the girls of 28A any questions, you can also email us at thegirls of 28A, or you can tweet us at thegirls of 28A. Also,
Like us on Facebook.
Like us on Facebook, and please follow us on iTunes. Subscribe to us for free. We just want to thank Beyond the Box Studios for actually having us again today, and New Media Factory. We love you guys.
All right, I'm Bianca Valerio.
I'm Julia Snigelski.
I'm Trisha Centenera.
And we are
All here.